Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello to you and welcome back to the channel where you join me on a snow day today visiting Novitec. Now the reason I'm here is to take a first look at the brand new and absolutely bonkers Novitec N-LARGO for the McLaren 720S. This is really the most extreme example of the extreme on the McLaren Super Series model. We'll talk about the changes that Novitec have made to their limited edition version, we'll talk about the power increases, then we will hear the sound of this car's crazy exhaust system before jumping into it to go out for a short little ride. Now as you can see, it is absolutely freezing today. The storage bunkers are full of cars for the winter, the Novitec cars that are being stored here, but let's get inside the workshop and take a look at this. Every time that I come to visit Novitec, I am fascinated by these units. They've got solar panels on the roof, and throughout the day, the entire construction literally rotates with the cars stored away inside it. You can see inside here is a Speciale and a 488 and a number of other cars in the units behind. But needless to say, it is very cold outside at the moment, so let's come through into the workshop to take a look at the car that I have come to visit today, the Novitec N-LARGO program for the McLaren 720S. Now before I get any further, I'm going to close the shutters just so it warms up a tiny bit inside. It is below freezing outside at the moment. Now the Novitec N-LARGO programs, you may know they were introduced with their Ferrari F12 Berlinetta. They've since made a number of others, for example the 488 GTB and Spider, and also some Lamborghini models, but now introducing it for the McLaren, we have this crazy thing in front of us, the Novitec N-LARGO 720S. So they've increased the power, it's significantly wider. Take a look at the aero and bodywork around it. It's also an awful lot noisier thanks to a new exhaust system, and really, just feast your eyes on this, take it all in. As I said, it's extreme, it's crazy, it's wild. It's one of 15 of the N-LARGOs they will make for the 720S. Of course, they also have their normal regular tuning program for the McLaren 720S. But this is really everything dialed up, well, I was going to say to 11, but it's really quite a lot further beyond that. Let's get started with the design and styling, and remember that the N-LARGO is created to be Novitec's most wild and radical car, and I'm sure you will agree that is exactly what we're looking at. There's some design inspiration from within the McLaren family, from the track hypercar, the Senna, but effectively, think about the proportions of this. It is around 35 millimeters lower than the standard car, it's 6 centimeters wider at the front, and it is a gigantic 13 centimeters wider at the rear. So it looks so low to the ground. It's wearing the wheels from Vossen, 20-inch at the front, 21-inch at the rear. They sit right up into the arches, and they have the center lock look style in the middle too. Around the front of the car, the carbon fiber splitter, because effectively all of the bodywork basically is new, sits right down towards the ground. You've got the openings for the headlights, then you come up towards the bonnet where you have the carbon fiber nose bridge style with the gurney flaps running around the outside of it, leading over towards the top. I think the door panels might be the only part that's from the original car. You've got this scoop style design piece up on the very top. But effectively, if you think about this, 3 centimeters wider here, 6.5 centimeters wider just on the rear, on each rear arch. Carbon fiber contrasting against the color choice for this car, which is really not necessarily my favorite choice, but it does introduce a nice contrast with that carbon. Coming around towards the rear wing, it's gigantic as well back here, double layered with the openings through the center of it, but carbon fiber everywhere you look. And in fact, come down towards the back as well, the aggression of the diffuser underneath with the fins, the sheer width of this with new openings created to allow air to come around the car, through the car, and just make it look, I think, I'm running out of words, but mad, bonkers, radical, that's exactly what this thing is. In terms of the power plant, it's got the 4-litre twin-turbocharged V8 mid-rear mounted rear-wheel drive. In the standard 720S, you have 720 horsepower, 770 Newton-meters. This car has Novitec's N-Tronic plug-and-play box, which takes that power up to 806 horsepower and torque to 878 Newton-meters. That means we're looking at a car with over 800 horsepower. 0 to 62 miles an hour or 100 100 kilometers an hour is reduced to 2.7 seconds, but 0 to 200 kilometers an hour, 124 miles per hour, goes all the way down to 7.5 from the standard 7.8. That makes this remarkably quick, and it will go on to a top speed of 346 kilometers per hour, 215 miles per hour. That's 5 kilometers, 3 miles over the standard cars. So really, those numbers are just, well, massive, to be completely honest. So let's come around, have a quick look at the interior. Always love the way on the 720S the doors open up. It's basically one big kind of open aerodynamic part. The inside completely clothed in Alcantara, new Novitec carbon fiber sill parts over the mono cage. The screen opened up, folded open as well while I opened the car. Basically, I think it's time now to hear the car being started up, then take it on out. That is so loud. Wow. Well, sometimes people fault McLarens for their sound, or in some cases lack of sound, but I'm not even sure if you can hear me over the sound of this thing. It's very, very high pitched. Of course, it's a freezing cold day. Wow. Outside, actually, this looks awesome. Woohoo! Look at this thing. Daytime running lights on. The way these shapes come down towards the bumper is also akin to the Senna. Openings around the side, motorsport focus, or styling. It's of course quite a unique style of car. That's what Novitec go for. But let me come around and jump on in, because we should take this car out for a blast on the roads. So we're going into active mode, track on the handling. That pops the screen down. This is always one of the coolest things where you get the rev counter. We currently have the lift system up. The temperature's just warming slightly, getting ready for today because, well, it literally snowed overnight and we're in an 800 horsepower supercar. Look at that wing in the door mirror. Of course, carbon fiber mirror caps as well. Showroom filled with usual array of lovely Novitec cars. So, yeah, variable drift control. That's not going to be used right now. Not today. The ground looks very, very slippy and icy at the moment. Careful will be the name of the game, but we will hear some of the sound of this, which I'm expecting to be fairly phenomenal. Driving gently like this is very civilized, very normal, very easy. The ride is okay. I mean, that's what the 720S is so famed for being a completely usable supercar. And I mean, right now, like this, it absolutely is. There we go, start to get a little bit more sound from it. Wing goes up as well, letting us know that it's icy out at the moment, of course. Not that we couldn't see that at all. Oh, nice. The cracks on the downshift. That's a whole lot of torque. The car gets moving. Here's the thing then about the McLaren 720S. Look at that amount of storage space you've got behind because of the way they created this canopy where you can have luggage literally above the engine. And to me, sitting here in the passenger seat, it's actually quite civilized, even though outside I know this exhaust was incredibly noisy. But we're just cruising around. You see, even the speed limit sign has snow on it, so yeah, you get the point today. But we do have a little bit of a tunnel, so that does mean window down. Wow! Now that was a cool sound. That was really, really good. The fizz of the sound when you go through the tunnels like that. Very nice. Oh wow, that was definitely a fireball popping out of the back on the downshift there. The noise is so good. turning back towards the showroom. That was entertaining. Short little drive, or ride I should say, but very good fun. And we're back. Inside there is an F12 N-LARGO Rolls-Royce 720 and a 488 Spider N-LARGO as well. And the 488 Spider in that side. Very cool. Now that we're back, we are going to try a loud race start. So I'm going to step on out and we will hear the noise of this car when you give it the full awesome startup mode that they installed on the 720S. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, with added fireballs. I wasn't quite expecting that. That was awesome. And we're going to try this again as well. I might need to stand back. Holy moly! Flamethrower! Proper fireballs out of those exhausts. Wow! Obviously the wing is now sitting flush as well. What? What was that? Okay, that exhaust system, so new exhaust, new pipes all the way through, basically multiple different exhaust options available. The wing comes up just like that as well. Whew, very, very, very cold, but worth it to hear that sound. See the wing folding down. I'm going to pop it back inside now. Such a cool sound. That is sometimes the weakness of a McLaren. Honestly, you don't hear it that loud inside, but clearly it's making a lot of noise from the outside. You've got the louvers as well and the arches. Oh! Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, there we go then, back inside. The heater is on, it's nice and warm in here, but a last look at the car before we say farewell to it for today. The paint, by the way, is called Desert Sand. They chose it to be unique for the McLaren. They like to use light colours for the launch of a car because it emphasises the carbon fibre, the shapes of it, and of course you can see so many of them in this, and it is unique. So it might not be to everyone's taste. That's not necessarily what it's about. 15 cars, no doubt they'll all be spoken for very, very quickly, because there's nothing else really quite like this. And one other thing, by the way, the exhaust tips are extended slightly further, so as when it does spit those fireballs out the back, it's not an issue with the wing or anything like that. You can see the Novitec logo here inside all of their carbon fibre parts, which all have the weave perfectly to the centre, as you can see on every part that runs over the entirety of the car. Basically everything carbon that you can see has been created by them. The side skirts, by the way, normal 720S back here kind of smoothly curves under, so this bit is substantially wider than on the standard car, and you would have the scoop almost hidden and the intake under the sides of the car. Of course, this is a similar style to that found on the factory car, but would normally be quite significantly further in, but that's for airflow. You can see to go out down the side of the car and escape away and get out of the way where required. So, I said it before, it's bonkers, it's extreme, it is mental, it's a Novitec N-LARGO, that's what it's supposed to be. So big thanks to them for the opportunity to come down, to hear, to see and to experience this today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, a first look at the 720S N-LARGO. That's it for now though, thank you very much for watching as always guys, and I'll be sure to see you again very soon. Cheers!